is 2 Cents, the podcast, with your host, Clinton Washington, and your co-host, D'Angelo Gillespie. Let's go!
Yo, welcome to another episode of 2 Cents, the podcast. I am Clinton Washington, better known on the streets as Uncle Clint. You can come by and you can tell me anything. I keep your secrets unless we go put it on the podcast, you know. But anyway, I'm here with my guy, the dreaded one, sitting next to me as usual. Hey, what's going on, man?
Shit, just out here, just still living.
Man, it's hot.
It's hot as fuck.
But you know, I ain't gonna complain. Anybody that's been to the Pacific Northwest, we get about 11 and a half months of rain.
A lot.
A lot of rain.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm willing to burn up. I'll take that.
Shit, I'm not. This shit is uncomfortable.
Nah, you know, I'm all good. Hey, you know what? We're finishing up an episode. So by now, you guys have probably heard the episode of So Your Child Has Come Out. Now what? And you've heard the replies from the parents and how they felt and what they went through as their child starts to live their true self. Well, this week,
Your true self.
This week, we're going to hear from the kids. Sitting in the studio with us.
Not a kid. They're not kids. They're young adults.
Okay, we're going to call them young adults.
Well, yeah, I think they probably rather us call them young adults than kids.
I'm going to call them kids, goddamn. I'm that old. I can call them kids.
Well, they drove over here, so they're probably young adults.
Okay. We got the young homie Amelia in the house. What's up, Amelia?
I'm nervous.
Oh.
Okay. It's all good. You can be nervous. Just, you know, don't burp in my mic no more over there. And, you know, I got my young niece in here. Liana, what's up?
Hi.
All right, what's up, y'all? So, check this out. Last week, we had a chance to talk to some adults to kind of get a feel for how they dealt with their child coming out of the closet, so to speak, and revealing them their true selves. You guys both came out to your parents, so we're going to start with Amelia. Now, you know what? Amelia says she's nervous, so we're going to give her a minute. So, you know, we're going to start with Liana. Liana, you came out to your parents. Let's hear about it. How old were you when you first came out to your parents?
18.
18. And how old are you now?
19.
Okay. You got 18, you know, when she came out, it's 19.
Man, relax. Why y'all over there looking like we got damn accuse y'all of a crime? Ain't nobody charge y'all with shit, man.
This is how I sit.
And, you know, we can't offer her a drink like we would normally, you know, take a couple shots with our guests, but she's under the age. And police, if you listening, she's not drinking anything.
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing,
But
but
that
water.
water.
All right. Liana, all right, college student. You decided to come out to your parents. What was that like?
I don't know. My mom found out first because she was snooping around my room.
Okay.
And she found prom pictures of us.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, who is us?
Huh?
Her girlfriend.
Us? You said prom
Me and my
pictures of us.
girlfriend, Amelia.
Okay, but you said prom pictures of us. Like, okay. Like, I mean, just because you found prom pictures, I guess, still, how does that, you know what I mean?
Of me and her, and there was like pictures of us kissing. And
Well, that's different. You just,
Whoa,
okay,
wait a minute.
that's
Pictures
different.
of y'all kissing at the prom. And
pictures.
Pictures, okay.
Okay.
All right, so mom finds it, and then what happened?
She didn't talk to me about it. And then I came out to her in probably July of summer 2019.
So,
and then when I came out to her, I was crying, and she was like, what is it? Acting like she didn't know. And then I told her, and she was like, you know what? I know. And I was like, of course you know. How do you know? And she was like, well, I was going cleaning your room. That's her code word for going through my room.
Oh, well, you know.
And then she found the pictures, and she was like, yeah, I saw them, but I didn't say anything about it.
Oh, so mom is good at keeping secrets.
She can be.
Okay. So you came out, you found out that your mom knew. Mm-hmm. I mean, and you were crying, of course.
Yup.
All right. So, but after you came out to mom, then what?
Well, pretty much what she told me, she was just like...
Stay close to your mic for me.
All right, bet. Pretty much what she told me, she was just like, all right, well, I don't care pretty much. Like, I'm just worried about how everybody else is going to think of you. And there's all this hate in this world. I don't want you to get hurt. Just stuff like that. She wasn't really mad about it.
Not really. You know
Just
what?
more concerned.
Yeah.
Right. You know, that's typical of the mothers. I think it's one of those growing things with fathers where we step out there and we think the world is coming to the end. Amelia, you still nervous over there?
Nah.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yep.
Now, Amelia is 21.
Yes.
She's having one of these adult beverages right now.
Yeah.
And she done loosen up a little bit. So, Amelia, you came out to your parents. Tell us about your experience.
I didn't come out actually.
Okay.
So nobody
Correct me.
came out.
Don't
Everybody
get
just
explicit.
sent people.
Don't get explicit.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get explicit, but my mom caught me. I
Oh.
wanna just say that.
Okay.
Your mom caught you.
Yeah, my mom caught me, and I was really scared, like
Okay.
super scared. And when she caught me, she talked to me, but when she first talked to me, it was kind of like mean, you know,
Right.
because she just wanted me to her point of view, which I didn't understand then because I was young.
Right.
But she was mad at me, and I was like, oh shoot, she's mad because I'm gay, you know.
Right.
And so I thought like she just hated me. But she
Okay.
really wasn't. She was just mad because I was lying to her, disrespecting her under her own household, which I can understand.
Right.
And I didn't talk to my dad for like a month that month because I was like, I don't want him to yell at me. I don't want to. I was like dodging him left and right. But yeah, afterwards, I just realized they wanted the best for me. They didn't want like me to go out in public and get hated on.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, how old were you when you got caught?
Oh, like 12, 11.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, young.
Young.
Even.
Yeah.
You were in middle school.
How you?
That's
know?
12.
You
Is
was
it?
there?
Middle school's like 13.
Okay, 12, 13.
Nah, I know the story.
Oh, you know the story. Oh, you making sure to
Wait a minute. So you know the story. Are you jealous of the person that she got caught with?
Nah, that bitch was jealous of me.
hold on. Alien, I have a question for you.
What?
I have a question for you. So, you said when your mom found out, you said you were crying. I got a question for you.
What?
Were you crying because you felt like that, you know, she would be upset with you, or were you just crying because it was emotional for you? You know, I mean,
I
or
think
both.
it was
you
a
know?
little bit of both. I was like mostly just scared, and then I like held it in for so long. So like coming out and being like, oh, like I'm gay. She like, it was just like an emotional, like it was too much emotion for me.
Did you feel like it was more of a relief? Like, I mean, coming out, or did you feel like it was more pressure now because, you know, it can't just stop with her, you know?
Yeah, I think it was just more pressure, and then like after that, I felt really uncomfortable around her, and
Uncomfortable around her.
I was just uncomfortable because I was like, damn, you were around all this time, and she was sleeping over every night, and you didn't say nothing.
But that should mean she
know,
realer than.
I know,
That's some
I
real
know.
shit. Like
I know.
she held you down then.
I know, but I was scared. And then I was like all shaking, and then I started FaceTimed her, and I was like, I just told my mom. And then I was just mad and uncomfortable around her, so I went over to her house and slept over. But she let me. So
It's like she accepted you for who you are.
yeah, I'm pretty sure if she wouldn't have, because she found the prom pictures like probably 2-3 months before. So I think if she wouldn't have known a clue before, and then me came out to her then, she probably would have freaked out. Because she said she probably would have, but she had time to think about it. So she was like, I understand now. Like, I'm fine. I'm chill.
That's cool. So you had a pretty good experience with your mom. She held you down. She still let you run in the circles that you was running in, still let you have the companies that you were keeping.
Yup.
Let's talk about your dad. What was
Our listeners got a chance to hear from your dad last week.
Yeah. So, let's hear from your point of view. We and something that we don't normally do. We don't normally allow the guests to hear the podcast before we release it. First time our guests normally hear the podcast is after we release it, and then you can critique it and, decide if you like it or not. But we let you hear the podcast from last week. All right. And we got a discrepancy. So if you listened to the podcast last week, there was a story being told about when you were 16 years old. All right. And I was dying looking at Amelia's face when the story was being told, when she's listening to the podcast.
That's why I don't want y'all to listen to it twice. I was like, no, I know what that looked like. That looked like that was a look of, who this bitch? Who was that? Who? Yeah, I know.
And you know what? I know her dad, so he probably did that shit on purpose. He probably did that on purpose. So what was it like when you finally decided that you were going to tell your dad?
Well, I knew I was the night before. And then I was like giving myself a pep talk, like in the mirror before I left for dinner. I was giving myself a pep talk, and I was like, you can do this. It's going to be okay. Because everybody was like, you know what, Leona, like, you're just tripping. Like, he's going to be fine. He's not going to be mad. Blah, 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 blah. I knew my dad, so I was like, wrong. And then we got to dinner. Like, everything he said was pretty much facts. Like, we were chilling. I didn't want to bring it up when we were eating because, like, I'm eating, bro.
Right.
And so I waited until after, and the check came, and he was all ready to get up, and I was like, nah, I gotta talk to you. And obviously he said he knew what was up, and he was like, pretty much, yeah, he looked at me and was like, don't break my heart. And I was like, what you mean? Because I was like, I don't know. Didn't know for a really long time. I was like, maybe he does know. And I'd be like, he doesn't. And then, yeah, he came out and said that to me, and I was like, what are you talking about? And it took me a while to get it out. Like, if my throat started choking up and shit, I was like, I don't want to tell you anymore. But I knew it was a time because I've been dragging it out for too long. And so I told him, and I was already crying because I was scared. And then he like he said, he was just like, nah, no, like just stuff like that. And I was like, but like, what do you want me to say? And it was just awkward, and I was, like, trying to leave. Like, I literally was trying to get out of the booth, and then that's when he came in to the same side with me, and I was, like, not wanting to be near him, and it was really, like, weird and uncomfortable. And what happened?
I feel like just listening to you, and I have a daughter, I think that I don't know, I'm just sitting here listening to you, and you can tell how uncomfortable you were in just you describing this. But I'll tell you, I'm gonna tell you what I hear from a parent. It's like I understand it, because it's like sometimes my kids do stuff, and I think what kids don't understand all the time is I can be supremely upset or disappointed or hurt, but that never supersedes me loving you. And if I feel like you are, if you don't understand the two, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to, sometimes with my son, I want to fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? But not in it's not absent of love. I still love you. I'm
you'll bust his nose in the name of love.
Well, I'm gonna bust your nose in the name of what you did. I'm gonna love you because at the end of the day, you still mine. You know what I'm saying? I still gotta, you know what I'm saying? And that's all I want to say, because I'm listening to you describe it, and I know your pop, so I know how he go. And just, I understand you like, you can't say that and sit by me. Fuck on.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
But I know him, so it was like, that shit I'm sure was very uncomfortable. But
yeah. I was ready to be out of there.
I know.
And then I don't know, it was just awkward, and I was trying to get out from inside the booth, and he was just in there, and I was kind of just like off to the side, like trying to get away from him, but I was trapped. And then I finally was like, nah, I want to leave, like let me leave. And I left, and as soon as I got out of the restaurant, there's this little kid puking on the side, so that was just a cherry on the top. And I was about to pull out, and he was like, where are you going? And I was like, oh, to Lori's house. I really went back to her house and was like crying. She wasn't even there by the time I got home. She was literally, where were you? I don't even know where you were.
Practice.
No, you weren't.
I was.
man.
I swear.
You were. It was November, bro. You stopped playing soccer in September.
Hey, man,
And I was at work.
Hey, don't do this.
All right.
They
All
want-
right.
We can't have no lovers
Like I said,
lovers quarrel
they
on
what we-
here. You
They
know.
what we talk about.
That's
Whatever.
another podcast now.
Whatever. She wasn't there, and I literally just came home and cried to her mom until she finally got there. So yeah.
Okay, so Amelia, when you finally told your dad, how was that?
Which dad? Both of them?
Okay, so Chris is your stepdad.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go with your biological father.
My biological father.
Okay, let's start there first.
Okay, so you guys probably don't know this, but I grew up in a church.
Okay.
My whole family, they run the church.
Okay.
Like my little siblings, they dance, and then church, church.
Okay, what denomination?
Huh?
What denomination? Like Catholic, Baptist?
Oh, Catholic.
Oh
Catholic.
Lord. Yeah,
Yeah.
you had it bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you had it bad.
But not really. My dad, he knew because I brought my ex-girlfriend there to Hawaii, and like they didn't know. I never told them, but
Right.
they knew.
Right.
And so my stepmother, she was like, "You should tell your dad you owe that to him." So I told him probably like 4 years ago.
Okay.
I told him on the way home from a wedding. I barely get to visit him, so it was like in summer sometime.
Right.
And he was like, the only thing that I remembered him was him saying, "I don't condone it,
Right.
but I accept you."
Okay,
like
okay.
as a daughter.
All right.
And I was like, "What do you mean you don't condone it?" Because I was young. I don't know. I didn't understand what that meant.
Right.
But I was like, he would like, what is that called? What is that? I'm blanking.
Okay.
I don't know. He was like basically like that.
Okay.
It was
so-
against his religion, pretty much.
He said the same thing, but like he didn't like hold it against me.
Right.
How do you
that
feel
sense.
about that?
I don't know.
I mean, okay.
Like I'm very close to my biological father, very
Right.
close. So it was like kind of heartbreaking.
I feel like last week listening to your dad and Ivan, Ivan was really discussing that it's his faith is the backbone of all of this, and so let's just speak plainly. So some people, their faith is what, and I don't even want to say hide behind. Because if you say hide behind, that's making them seem disingenuous, like they goddamn lying.
Yeah,
and guess what? Watch this. If they feel that way, that's how they feel.
Yeah.
You got to respect that shit because you want them to respect you. So
Exactly.
I want to ask y'all both. When people say, "Well, I just don't believe in that." Now, I would personally say to anything like that. I know how I would respond, but I want to know, how do y'all respond when people say, "Well, I don't believe in that," as if, I don't want to give y'all what to say. That's why I'm kind of keeping my own personal feelings in. But when someone says, "Well, I don't believe in that,"
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I respect that because like you guys are respecting me as what I am, right?
Right.
So I respect you guys for what you believe. You know,
Okay.
like I can't push anything on you guys, just like you guys don't push anything on me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
What about you, Leanna?
Look at her. She over there looking like a goddamn loaded gun. Goddamn.
Pretty much the same. Like,
Nah,
Okay.
Man,
yeah,
hold on.
okay,
Hold up. We just said we ain't gonna do this shit before we started.
okay, okay. I don't know. Like, to me, I feel like it's disrespectful to me because with what the hate that I've had and was my dad and him being like, "I don't accept this. I don't like your decision." And that's disrespectful to me because I'm like, okay, well, I'm happy, so you should be happy that I'm happy. But I also see the other side where I'm like, I can't diss on your beliefs, but you should still be able to accept me for who I am because I am your daughter.
Right.
That's how I feel about it. But I'm a little bit sassier, so I'm not going to be as nice about it.
Nah, I feel that because, all right, so personally, I feel like I don't give a fuck what you feel. Man.
Yeah.
Mind your goddamn business.
Yeah.
When this shit, that's my personal feeling. But we talking about your parents. Now, I can say all day as D'Angelo, man, I don't care what nobody say. Let my mom come in here and say something to me. That shit going, it might, though I'm
Wait.
still
So
feeling
are you
how-
still afraid of your mom?
Hell yeah, I'm still afraid of my fucking
So it's
mom.
not just me.
No.
Oh, okay. I've been living this lie my whole life.
I mean, I respect my father, but I'm not afraid of my father.
I'm not afraid of my dad.
Exactly. I'm not afraid of my father.
I'm afraid of my mother.
Yeah. Like my father can say something, I can say, man, fuck out of here. My mom can say something, I'll be like, I really don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it because you asked me to do it, or it matters to me what she thinks of me still. You know what I'm saying? So and that goes to my next question, ladies. Okay, so you're going through this life. You are being yourselves, and you're gonna be faced with people who don't feel the same way you feel. Do you guys understand that sometimes it's not so much when it's from a parent? I guess what I learned last week was it's not that necessarily I don't agree, is I fear for my child and the world that we live in and what comes with it. Do you guys? I guess how do you speak to that? Because at some point I can be like, hey man, listen, I love you and I respect you. Do you understand that I fear for you now because this is where you are and everybody in this world ain't gonna be me.
Right.
So you feel what I'm saying? Like how you feel about that?
Like my mom was that way. Like I was saying, she was telling me she feared for me and stuff like that. And honestly, I was like, I don't know what you have to fear for, because I've never gotten any kind of hate. I've never had someone be like, oh, like I'm gonna beat you up because you're gay. Like I've never had any kind of interaction like that. The only kind of like hate I've gotten, I was actually at OSU and all little white girls and stuff like that, so I was trying to be friends with them. And me and my roommate made friends with her, so we followed her on Instagram, whatever. I followed her, and she's a super religious girl, and I guess she got to my Instagram page and she saw that like it was me and Amelia, my girlfriend, and she blocked me.
You had to point out that was your girlfriend.
I like the way you put that in there.
Okay.
My girlfriend.
Okay.
And she blocked me. She didn't follow me back. She blocked me.
blocked you?
Yeah, and I asked my roommate. I was like, "Hey, did she block you? Like, are you following her?" She's like, "Yeah, she followed me back." I was like, "Oh." And then I told her, and then she told her roommate, that girl's roommate, and then that girl came back and was like, "Oh, she's super religious. She doesn't believe in that."
You know what? This is the problem that I have with that.
Doesn't
And
believe in that.
I'm gonna make sure this don't get out to my mama, because like I said, I'm scared of my mother. But I was raised a Jehovah's Witness.
Yep.
I remember they had this book called the Youth Book, and D'Angelo, I've told you the story. Mm-hmm. And one of the chapters was called Masturbation and Homosexuality.
Together as one?
Yeah. Masturbate, and they related masturbation to homosexuality. So now, here I am. I wasn't never confused about my sexuality, but I thought maybe I should have, because by the time they start teaching you this chapter, you are well into masturbating. Unless you know that. Palm olive was really good back in the day.
Shut up.
Palm olive.
That shit
Hey,
sounds
you know what?
rough
I'm not
on your
ashamed of
skin.
nothing. You know what I'm saying? Man,
There's a lot of bubbles and all. Oh, that shit sounds disgusting.
Hey, man, you know what? Hey. But
That just sounds disgusting.
but it was like this book, or this chapter in this book, was to solidify that masturbating and homosexuality was one and the same. So now I have this stigma as well as this homophobia based on this chapter of what I was taught. And the way I was able to look at everybody's lifestyle or how they want to be was I applied it to being a black male. If I am to look at someone and go, the way you're living your life is non-traditional. Once upon a time, there was white racist people who felt that blacks and whites, or blacks and anybody else, couldn't be together. Mm-hmm. So how can I sit up here and tell anyone or feel like anyone shouldn't live their true selves based on this chapter in this book? So being a Jehovah's Witness, I used to be really homophobic as a child, and I can admit that. I remember we were taking a trip to San Francisco, and I was scared as hell. anybody that knows, San Francisco back in the day was the capital for homosexuals. And I was like, they're going to get me.
You are old.
Why are we going up here? They're going to get me. And it was like we ended up taking a trip and everything. So, and I'm taking a trip with these people who are teaching me that they're going to get me. And we get up there, I couldn't
Oh, the church
tell.
group? It was a church trip.
Yeah, it was church
shit
trip. We
sounds
was on the
cool.
bus and everything. And I went up there and it was like, I couldn't tell who was straight, gay, or in the middle, or confused, or anything else. But here it was, this book was used to teach me about homosexuals, and I still couldn't tell what a homosexual was. And friends that know me to this day, I still have a hard time. My gaydar is broke, as I say. But, you know, so let's kind of back up a couple steps. Let's get to your stepdad.
Oh, we ain't talk about that. What's
Yeah.
up? Tell us
So
about
how
Chris.
was that when you finally came out to him? Or however he found out?
We had a talk in.
And this is
It was
Amelia.
like-
I'm sorry. You know, I got to
was
say
like-
name.
It was awkward because he told me, he was like, "How do you know that you don't like boys if you've never been with a boy?" You know, and I was
Right.
like,
I
I
gu-
don't.
I guess it's. a
Well, you know
valid
what?
question.
Hold on. Let's start with that. Let's go there. At this time, you're 12 or 13 years old. You've never had a sexual experience? Except
Nah, like kissing a boy, but I was like, I was trying to figure myself out at that
Right,
point.
right,
you know?
right.
And so I kissed the boy, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
So,
And so-
when people say that, when they say if you've never been with a man, how do you know you're gay?
I ain't never been with a man. I ain't trying to. I ain't trying to be fucking funny. I ain't never been with a man.
You know you from Atlanta though, right?
You know, I knew somewhere in here you was gonna fucking get that joke off, and I want you to know I respect it, and I also want to let you know that we are not even in the top 3. I'm sure we're behind New York and California because I get that joke a lot, and and I think it doesn't matter, but just know we're not 1 or 2 or 3. Not the point, Clint. Fuck you. So anyway, where I was going now, you don't make me fuck up my train of thought. I guess, man, what Chris say?
But I mean, you know, it's like that's the honest thing that people come up with. If you've
Yeah.
never been with
yeah.
the opposite sex, how do you know that you're really gay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, Leon,
Yeah, I don't want to speak to it.
how do you know?
I actually was in a relationship with a guy my sophomore year. That was where I was like, okay,
Okay, wait, hold on.
Backstory.
I'm your uncle.
yeah.
Were you sexually active?
She like,
Don't lie.
I mean, you
Don't
grown.
lie.
Okay,
You're wrong.
yeah. Then you can't lie.
Oh, okay. Here
I
we
don't-
go.
I'm
Here
not
we
lying.
go.
I'm not
There we
lying.
go.
All right.
Okay, yeah. And it was just like she always asked me about it, but like it was like I told her it wasn't like fun for me, and I was like, but I was with this dude for like 6 months, but half the time this nigga was in California. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck. He was weird. He was crazy as hell. He's still crazy to this day. He still hits me up to this day, and I'm like, okay. Besides the point, I have been with a guy, and it was just like, but I was with her like kind of on and off for like 6 years since middle school all the way up to now.
I did not. God
Yeah.
damn it. Y'all even
We
fooled
have-
me.
Yeah, we have a history.
Wow.
So you knew that how you felt about her was totally different.
Yup,
than
100%.
So, okay, Amelia, you. All right, you know, and the reason why I asked this question, and it's not to, you know, be some, Real Housewives of whatever type of shit, but I'm hoping that there's someone out there listening to this podcast and they're confused and they want to talk to their parents or they want to live their true selves. So, you dated a boy before.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What?
I had all the honeys. All the honeys.
Okay. So you dated a boy. Now, you know, just to get an understanding, how did you know that wasn't for you?
Talk about-
There's just this feeling, you know, I guess you don't know, but I don't like it wasn't just hitting the spot for me.
Right.
I would fake it because I thought that was what my parents wanted,
Right.
and I thought that was what I wanted until I started experiencing it for myself.
Okay. And now you so in reality, anybody that says, you know what, how do you know? You do know.
No, I like all this, man, because I feel like this is kind of stupid. Well, I'm not even gonna say it's stupid, man, because I don't like to disregard people's feelings. So I like it because I want to ask questions that stupid shit people say in quiet corners. You know what I'm saying? Well, you don't know if you've never done it. Yeah, you do. I ain't never slit nobody goddamn throat. I know it's probably not gonna end up good for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but to this particular topic, these women have experienced at least relationships with men,
And it wasn't them.
And it wasn't that. That's what I'm saying. And so, my whole thing, I wonder, like, to what end would people like for you to not be yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, if my life disappoints you, should I then live a unauthentic life? You know what I'm saying? I just want to say to both of y'all before we get any deeper in this, man, I appreciate y'all for being on here. And I just want to say this because I don't want us to somehow forget this point. Hey, man, fuck people. Live your life for you. Please don't live for your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, or nobody else. Don't live for me, Clint, nobody. Because I'm telling you, man, a lot of people didn't get to see, what are you, 21, 19? Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't get to see 21 or 19, and I bet they wish, well, their parents wish they would have been themselves the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
I do not plan on living this life for nobody else but me. Fuck everybody who think I should, and I appreciate y'all being yourself and continuing to be yourself. And that's why while we on here, talk frankly. Tell people fuck you who you listen to. I'm serious.
You love telling people fuck you.
Yeah.
I do love telling people fuck them because they should know it and they should remember it and they should keep it in their pocket for when they lonely.
So there goes our sponsor for next week. But so you're at that point where you're living your truth, and I'm Liana. I'm talking to you. You're living your truth, right? And you and I have talked before, and you know it's kind of a fight to be who you are and to be genuinely accepted. Mm-hmm. What do you tell a young person like yourself if you were to talk to you? Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about where you are right now.
That's a good question right there.
And if you were to talk to you at 12 or 13 years old, because one of our conversations you had, you used to date guys to fake it for your parents. Mm-hmm. What would you tell that young girl?
Probably just, I don't know. I don't think I would change anything that I did, to be honest.
Oh, tell us why not.
Because I feel like everybody goes through this when they're gay. Like, they feel like they have to hide it. And they go through the extremes to hide it. And, like, if you're not ready to tell someone that you're gay, then you're not going to be ready. And I felt like I waited this long because I felt like, okay, I'm ready. And I'm ready to face whatever happens when I tell them. And I think when I was younger, I definitely was not ready. Especially the fact that I was still living with my parents. And I didn't want to be stuck in that little bubble where I was, I don't know, felt that tension and awkwardness because I hate feeling that stuff. Like, I hate it. So that's why I waited so long. And I was already about to be I was already in college by the time I told my dad. So I was like, I don't have to be around you. You can process this all by yourself. Because I just didn't want to deal with that type of stuff. So I wouldn't change anything that I did.
Okay. Amelia, what about you?
Rephrase the question.
Okay, rephrase the question. All right.
What would you say to the younger you?
You're
Go for it. I'm sorry.
right now you're 21. Mm-hmm. All right, knowing what you know now, what would you tell that 12 or 13-year-old?
I think I would have just told my parents. Probably would have been easier.
Okay. And then, I mean, why do you say it would be easier?
Because the way it went down, it was like kind of more traumatic, you know, because my mom found out in like shocking. She was like, come out here, you know, like she caught me, you know.
Yeah.
She caught you.
Yeah, so I probably would have told her.
I got caught too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm sitting there listening to you and listening to you saying you got caught. That shit is mortifying, even right now. And I'm a grown fucking man, and like,
Man,
I can't even imagine my mom or dad.
Listen,
I'm just
you know
gonna
what?
Die right now.
I shared this story. I don't care about embarrassment or anything like that. I got caught. The first time I got caught, I was going. No, the only time I have gotten caught
Say no, man.
was I was going down on a girl.
Stop.
Oh, man.
God, Clint,
And
stop, please.
my mom caught me.
Man,
And all the signs was there for me not to do it that day. Hey, this is what made it so bad. I got kicked out the house that day.
Yeah.
And, you know, my mom, she suffers from rheumatoid arthritis. Mom, I love you. I'm sorry I'm telling this story. But I had this big barrel. It was like one of those big ass, like 50-gallon barrels in my closet where I kept my dirty clothes. And being a young teenager, it was full. My mother picked that up, threw it in the back of my truck. You and that heifer get out of my house, and I can't believe you did this in my house. She suffered with rheumatoid arthritis. She picked that thing up like it was paper. Right? Now, but the bad part about it, you know what I did? So in California, we have what's called the dollar shot. It's a hotel where you pay about $5 to $10 per hour to get yours off.
What?
Yeah. It's like $5 to $10. They weren't hotels, they were motels.
we need to invest in this shit. I wouldn't even clean them bitches. I wouldn't even clean them bitches. I just,
You know what? The way they smell, sometimes I don't think they was clean. But
$10?
anyway,
Shit, I ain't cleaning that shit.
man, I was you know, teenager, 18, and I felt like I wasn't finished. I got caught.
You said man, shut up, Clint.
I swear before
shut
God.
up, Clint.
I
If
called
my mama catch me, we not doing nothing no more today.
Hey, I was not done. So I called my boy Joe up and I said, hey, man, I need to borrow $10. I borrowed $10 and I went in like a machine.
This story
swear.
gets worse and worse. I thought it was the worst when she called you. This is even more disgusting than
Nah.
the catch.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to say no names. But yeah,
man.
you know what?
You said I
I
wasn't
felt,
finished.
hey, and after, you know, our time was up in the hotel, I slept in the back of my truck on top of that barrel that my mom threw in the back of my truck. That's where I slept at that night.
I bet you had a good sleep at least.
Hey, you know, I slept pretty good. It was pretty good. But, you know, anyway, enough about me.
Oh
all
my
right?
God.
So you guys are out the closet. And what we learned from the podcast last week and what we learned today, you guys are in a relationship. All right.
Yep.
And after you came home from college, you went through the big reveal to your dad. You stayed with Amelia.
Yep.
And how is the relationship off and on since middle school? We done romped around a little bit, found ourselves, and now we're in a serious relationship. How are we doing? Let's be honest.
Like our relationship now?
Yeah, of course now.
What
Oh, good.
I can say, I got a question that's less personal.
What?
No, wait, I can't
no,
get an answer to my
no,
question.
Oh no, she said it's good, man. I got a question. With both of you guys being out and your parents knowing, the most important people to you know, do you think it takes a lot of stress off the relationship?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yes and no.
No? Okay, explain the no.
Yeah.
I think it's stress on us with my dad because she doesn't feel comfortable to be around my family, but my mom, my sister, my brother want her to be around.
Right.
And like through this period of like 10 months, 9 months, she hasn't been able to come over, and when she does, there's tension. She doesn't feel comfortable.
It's not that I don't feel comfortable. I just want to respect your dad.
Well,
I respect your dad to the utmost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was the last time I came over was his birthday.
Okay.
Okay, and you can see why I didn't want to come over because it was his birthday. You know, like I was like,
You
it's
wanted
his
him to
birthday.
enjoy himself.
Yes,
It was
enjoy
my
himself.
birthday too.
I understand that, and I love you.
Y'all got the same birthday?
I love you.
Nah, it's
No,
2 days apart, but we celebrated together.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, the only reason why I didn't want to come by is because it's his birthday. You know, I know he wants to spend it with his daughter. You know, nicely, and I know he doesn't really think like. Well, I don't know how he thinks about me, but I wanted to respect him and not come over, but I did because
Right.
her mom was calling me, her sister was calling me, telling me to come by. But you know, like I just wanted to respect him. That's the only reason. I don't feel uncomfortable. I just want to respect him.
You know,
Right.
and That's respectable, but I'm gonna tell you something. Don't dim your light because people can't fucking take it.
That's what
I'm just gonna. You take it.
Well,
how
you know
want
what?
to.
I would have to disagree.
I know. I respect what she's saying, but if he didn't say don't come, if he didn't say, well, there's one thing to disrespect someone. If he did not say, you are disrespecting me, I feel uncomfortable with you there, then that's what it is. He can say it if that's how you feel. Like, I get what you're saying. You're trying to be proactive, and I don't want to disrespect him. He never said you were disrespecting him.
Well, you know, I wouldn't say.
So you think she should stay out of the way?
No, and this is why I understand why she did what she did. And
I understand it.
And this is why I think it was a good decision. You're trying to make sure that nothing comes in between you and your actual relationship.
How? Yeah. But you're bringing something.
But not even that.
No. But see,
she's
hurting, not even that.
She's
also,
she's hurting her.
Also, her and her dad's relationship too.
Right.
I want to keep that.
Right. So you got to understand. So when she's looking at it from this, she's in a relationship with someone. I don't want to add extra stress to the person I'm in a relationship with.
But you got to define the stress. So,
but you can't define the stress. You got to look at it like this. That's her. If I'm dating my wife, and her father doesn't like me, or I perceive he doesn't like me, I'm not trying to add any extra stress to the relationship between her and her dad.
So I'm gonna add the shit to mine.
Right.
You rather add the shit between you and your wife instead of add it between her and her father.
100%.
You got to deal with the stress between you and your wife. You got to deal with that.
Right.
Now, I would like for their relationship to be better, but if I'm dating Leanne, I care that her and her father's relationship is messed up. I'm not finna have her at my goddamn neck, though.
But she's not going to be at your neck.
If I don't show up, she is.
No, but you're looking at it like this.
Let's ask them. They right here.
Okay.
Shit.
So when she didn't want to show up to the party, how did you feel?
I was mad.
At who?
At her.
There you go.
Okay. Were you also mad at your dad because she felt the way she felt?
She ain't even
Okay.
Yeah, let's be real.
Backstory. She came over when Milan, Hoops, and all of them came to Oregon again.
Okay. Other friends of the family.
Oh, don't say people's name on
Oh, shit. Sorry. My bad.
No, we just don't like to say people who can't defend themselves or corroborate the story.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Well, other family came
We
down, and her and my cousin get along. So I was like, okay, like, you should come over. Like, they want to see you. And I called up my dad, and I was like, is it okay if Amelia comes over? And he was like, I'm going to have to get over at some point. Like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, okay. And so she was over. We were chilling, and my sister's boyfriend was there, and whatever. But
that's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. But my dad was being like, "Oh, Ethan." Oh,
we just said another name.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Sorry. He was like, "Oh, come have drinks with us. This is where the boys are at." Blah 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 blah. And he was all nah. And Amelia comes and she goes, "I'll come outside and drink with you. Like, I'll come hang out with you." And my dad looked at her and said, "No, never." And that hurt her feelings. I didn't even know that happened until the next day.
Right.
And then my aunt came to me the next day and said, like, my dad said something that pissed her off. And I was like, what did you say? And I guess when we left, he came into the kitchen in the middle of the night to make some
whatever it was.
And my dad was like, see babe, like, I didn't say anything, I didn't have any attitude, aren't you proud of me, just stuff like that. And
that bothers you.
Yeah, it bothered me, and it bothered my aunt really bad, and so was my mom. And then my aunt was out there talking to the guys or whatever, and my dad referred to me as her lesbian niece. Right. He didn't refer to me by my name or anything. He said something blah blah blah, your lesbian niece. And that pissed her off, and she told me that as well. So that whole time when that happened, that made her not want to come over anymore.
Right.
So, like, but it pisses me off because I'm like, okay, I'm mad at you because you said all this shit. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to not have her come around because you're mad. Like, I don't care if you're mad. Like,
Yeah.
you can stay mad, but I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
And it, this is the weirdest thing about this, and how I became this Uncle Clint. People, people kind of felt comfortable to talk to me, and one thing I could say is your aunt had a couple conversations with your dad. She had, let me see how many, maybe 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. And it's one thing to hear certain things from your child because you always feel like you're at this elevated level. I'm your guide. I'm your leader. You don't tell me. I guide you through life. But when somebody else comes along and they're repeating the same thing that maybe your child, or sometimes it happens with us guys, with our wives or whatever, and we start to listen. Now, what I would tell anyone who is anything, just understand that maybe whatever lifestyle you choose, whether it's a career in life, whether it's your sexuality, whether it's your gender, not everybody was built on being able to receive that change. Sometimes we sit up here and we have this dream of what we think people should be, or this tradition of what life is supposed to be. That life is supposed to be male and female getting together, having babies, and then you grow up. And life has a way of forcing you to grow up and mature. So those of you who are out there, and maybe you're listening to this podcast, and I'm hoping you can gain so much from this and understand that those who don't understand who you are, give them the benefit of the doubt and allow them to grow. You have to allow them to grow because they have spent their whole entire lifetime with someone telling them that a traditional relationship is male and female, or traditional gender is male or female. We're being taught in a very quick way that there are some people who are not her and him. They are they and them. There are some people who were born male but identify female. And you have to allow some of us to get past our programming and conditioning. Go ahead, D'Angelo. Are you ready? Hey, go ahead. Throw it out there.
I hear you, and I don't want to say but, man. I hear you, and to a lesser extent, I agree with you. But I can almost hear people ringing in my head right now saying, "No, I don't. I don't gotta respect none of that shit." People,
true.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hear you, and I truly believe you got to meet people where they are in this life. You know what I'm saying? People who are, and I don't even like to use the word ready to accept you, because I'm not a big, I'm not a big supporter of people not ready for shit. This is life. It comes at you fast. Either you will adapt to this shit, or you can fall the fuck back. Either way, we gonna just keep on going. But I can hear it when you say, well, you gotta let people be who they are. You do. You just don't gotta fuck with them though. And now I am not. First of all, by no stretch of any imagination, am I suggesting
that's
that
Hennessy.
You are not making sure that y'all keep a strong connection with your parents, because they gonna love you more than anybody in this world. They are, regardless of what you ever think.
Life has told us that, if you have a homosexual child, that's something to be ashamed of or embarrassed by. But you know what? In reality, that's what life has taught us. You're supposed to be ashamed or embarrassed by that. But I think as we start to grow and accept the way things are currently, you start to look at it and go, you know what? How they live, or how they believe, or how they love each other really doesn't change the path of my life.
Not really. I got a question.
Go ahead.
So this came up on a podcast last week, so I got to ask you.
On the podcast?
The podcast. This came up on the podcast. I'm not gonna say who said it, man, because I
you don't want to get nobody in trouble.
No, I just don't like the idea of beating people down. You know what I'm saying? So it came up Well, being gay is a choice. And then it was quickly corrected last week. Now, I know how I feel about the shit, but I want to ask y'all.
That's a.
Do y'all
I see where you're going.
Do
I
y'all
like that.
believe that being gay and like I'm gonna fine? I'll just say how I feel. I don't personally believe it's a choice. Like my homegirl Sonya said and Tanya said last week. Nobody is signing up to be fucking hated on. Nobody is signing up in this life
exactly what I told my
to
dad.
oh, you know what I want to do? I want to put my parents who aren't ready for shit like this through some shit. Maybe I fuck up their dreams of me goddamn getting married. Maybe that's what I do today. You know, I don't think nobody is signing up to, nobody's purposely trying to go against whatever grain is being out here. So
Yeah.
let me ask both of y'all, you know, do y'all believe being gay is a choice? Is there something you chose, or, you know, I'm asking.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was, but I had a conversation with my dad, and he would always keep saying, like, he's been saying this in the beginning. He's like, I don't like the choice you made, the choice of lifestyle you made. And I dead ass looked at him and I was like, you think I would make this choice to be gay for you and me to be in this type of situation right now? He's like, I don't know what he said, but I kind of just tuned out because I was like, I don't want to hear what you have to say.
Right.
Because this is what I have to say. Like, why would I choose to be this way and have this kind of situation with the whole family and have all this tension?
Exactly.
Like, why would I choose to do that?
Yeah, unless it was, yeah. Go ahead, Emily. What do you think?
No, I don't think it's a choice.
Okay.
She said it all.
So
Yeah.
no, so wait, you know what? I'm gonna have to be me. I'm gonna have to be me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw this hard question out there. If it's not a choice, both of you have had relations with men, but you chose to be with a female.
That's true.
How do you explain that?
You want to try?
I feel like we tried to be with men because it was like social norms.
That's what society expects.
Okay,
Yeah, like
okay.
it was social norms, but once we figured out like we can do what we want, because it kind of changed, you know, like nowadays it's like not normal, but it's
It's
being
more
normal.
acceptable.
Yeah, it's more acceptable.
Okay.
And so like we tried at our younger ages, we tried being with men. I tried being with a man, you know, or a boy because I was young,
Right.
and I just didn't like it. It wasn't my choice. Like I
Okay.
didn't choose that.
Right.
Yeah. So at the
It
end,
was,
you know,
it's,
you go.
you went against what you already felt and tried to fall into society.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's like,
Yeah. Yes.
like,
You know, so we were talking last week, man, and somebody, one of the guests said, I believe these days it's being normalized. Being gay is normalized. Being trans is normalized. It's everywhere. And I said, so you're saying it's an agenda? Now, my thing to that, I was like, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I was like, maybe it's not an agenda. Maybe this is the world that's always been. Maybe we had blinders on.
Period.
Maybe we've been, you know, and maybe my thing to this is I don't think any of this is new.
Yeah.
I think men who are homosexual have been marrying women because of what they thought they should be doing, or
Yeah.
women who would rather have relationships with women have been marrying and having kids because that's what society tells them that they should do. I don't think like people. I guess one of our guests last week said, well, now it's on TV. You see, and I was trying to explain representation.
yep.
Because now what we see on our TV is just a representation of the world that we live in. But
Exactly.
this is still a brave new world. This is a new world. So this is what we're seeing. So I guess I'm gonna ask y'all. Y'all think more gay people are populating this world these days, or do you think this? You know what I'm saying? Is it an agenda that they are pushing, or?
I think that
you know?
now it's more like they're showing it so people feel more comfortable coming out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you got all the good answers
Yeah,
right
yeah,
here.
yeah,
You
yeah.
gonna fuck around and get you over here again. Yeah.
I had to have her
Put
on.
me
Yeah.
on. Put me on.
Yeah, but you know what? I can truly really appreciate, and you know what? I don't want to say this as if it's shouldn't be the norm. It's just like when
But what's the norm? Just to
no,
say
no,
shit
no.
like norm.
Well, no. So
is
the point
weird.
I'm trying to make is this. So we say stuff like we see a dark skinned woman and we go, "Oh, she's beautiful."
For a dark skinned girl.
For a dark skinned girl.
I already knew
You
where
know
you
what
was
I'm
going with that
saying?
shit.
Or you see like the entertainer
First
Lizzo.
of all, hold on. I don't say that. I was
Well,
just
no,
knew
no.
where you was going.
But
I
you
don't
know,
want to claim that.
we'll see the entertainer Lizzo, and everybody go, "Oh, she's beautiful. She's this, she's that," because we're trying to make it acceptable. So I want to be careful when I say that I'm proud of you guys for having the strength to come out and live your truth, and I don't want to say that and minimize who you really are.
Yeah, because you shouldn't have to be strong to be yourself.
Right, exactly. But I appreciate it because
There it is.
this
Appreciate it.
podcast is not just some reality talk show type of stuff where we're trying to gain likes or anything like that. The purpose of this is
Still listen.
listen, like, subscribe. But it's therapy. I want it to be therapy for people. I want them to say, you know what? I'm ready to come out. I'm ready to live my truth, because it's one thing to watch a person come to work, look stressed, and then finally watch that weight come up off their shoulder where they get to live their truth. Even on a temporary basis, because we as human beings, those who say they accept us, they flip-flop back and forth. They still have those butts in their heads. But we really appreciate y'all coming through.
Absolutely.
So one of the things we got to do before we close this segment out. So Amelia, where were you born?
Kona, Hawaii.
Okay, Hawaii. Liana, where were you born?
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. So we're going to say you're officially from Portland, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
You're from here.
Yep.
So we have this segment called, what is your pet peeve about living in Portland or living in Oregon? What's your pet peeve?
Very broad question. You can say anything. Whatever is pissing you off about living here. Why y'all
I
looking
don't
at
know.
goddamn each other?
So you don't have one?
Actually, she from Portland. Maybe she love this city. You can say you love your city.
I don't think I have a pet peeve about here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What
I mean,
about you,
she
Amelia?
does, but
Karens.
Who?
Karens.
Oh, Karen. Yeah.
In Portland, I'm gonna be honest with you, not being from here, I felt like the white people here are the nicest white people I've ever met in my
nah,
life.
she just doesn't like downtown because of the dirty people and the smell.
Right.
I was like,
Well, that's every downtown. You said smell like
Exactly.
piss.
Yeah,
Man.
you go to Skid Row in L.A., man, I used to have to walk through that going, well, I chose to walk through it. I like some hood shit. I like hood shit. Just give me the raunchiest shit. I walk through. My wife would tell you, we go to Mexico, I don't go to the tourist spots. I go to the hood. I want to go to the
Gotta
hood.
get kidnapped.
Yeah. I was
Nah,
just
you know
finna
what?
say.
We took a cab that didn't have no back seat. So I sat the crate in the back, and I was so happy.
I ain't gonna lie. When I'm out the country, I'm trying to be bougie. Please, I don't need to be part of your crime stats. Show me to the bar, please. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so we got a couple more minutes before we close. There's a young person listening to this podcast right now. Liana, what would you tell that person about living their true self?
Be whoever the fuck you want to be.
I love it.
All right, Amelia?
I couldn't have said it better.
All right. Well, we want to wish you guys the best of luck in your relationship. I know Liana personally. I don't know how you do it, Amelia, but congratulations on your
Really?
success this far. Okay, I'm just kidding. But hey, we
I'm
want
the
to thank
best
everybody.
girlfriend anybody could ever have. Period.
I'm
Okay,
glad she put that. Oh, can I say something before we go?
go ahead.
Hey, listen, man, I appreciate y'all being on here, both of y'all, serious business. But I just want to put this in your pipes so y'all can smoke it for later. Please, please, please be yourself in this life.
Of course.
Just from somebody who's older than y'all, be yourself. I ain't just talking about in this topic. I mean, in what you want to do in life and what you want to achieve in your goals you want to set. Please do not let other people influence or move you off your square. Please remember, fuck them. it is imperative that you remember that, because I'm telling you, life has a way of pushing you around if you let it.
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna say to y'all. And y'all, like I said, man, y'all 21-19 shit, man. If I was 21-19, I'd tell a lot more people fuck them. I really would. I'm not even joking. Anyway, I love y'all. Hey, Portland.
Hey, once again, this has been 2 Cent the podcast. We appreciate you guys turning in, Liana and Amelia. We appreciate you guys living your truth with us today. And we hope you guys who are listening, you've been encouraged.
Yep.
You know, once again, thank you guys for listening. That's my 2 cent. Peace.
This has been 2 Cents, the podcast, hosted by Clinton Washington, with co-host D'Angelo Gillespie, brought to you by Underway Entertainment and Pound the Pavement Productions. Thanks for listening.